Welcome back to another time-lapse video. This is of Nibbler from Futurama. I'm not familiar with this character myself and never watched Futurama. But yeah, it was a really fun character to do. And this is going to be in a patch style, so an embroidery patch style. I'm just going to start with pretty much the major stitching around the outside, what you would class as your line work, but it is done a little bit differently, so to simulate stitches, if anything. So I'll get those down first, and then we can start with the actual filling in, colouring in, and all the threads as well. As you could probably tell by now that the line work does take a bit of time to do. It's quite a lengthy process getting all this stitching from around the outside and inside as well. But it's really a crucial part of it and creates a lot of the effect of the actual patch itself. So it's really important that I take the time on this part and get it nice and solid and looking how it really should.
Maybe if I stay, maybe if I hold on a little longer, maybe if I stay, maybe I will find what I am looking for. I wanna be somebody, yeah, yeah. Hanging with somebody, yeah, yeah. Can I be somebody, dancing with somebody?
So coming to the last little bits to put in for the outside stitching, just completing around the feet there and adding some little threads that are just hanging off as well. Again, if anything, just to create a little bit more of a realistic look and a little bit of a worn look as well, like it's been there for a little while. Give it a really good clean and then just check it over. I'm probably going to go back in and just go back over any little bits like that. I'm really picky, which is not a bad thing, obviously. But yeah, it's always good at the end of it just to give it a really good wipe, get it nice and clean, and then you can really see which bits you need to just perhaps tart up a little bit there. Now I'm going to add a drop shadow to the patch itself, so it actually looks like it's going to be sitting on the top of the skin. I'm not going to do too much though. If you do too much, it will look like it's floating, so it create completely the opposite look that you're trying to achieve, which is a realistic sitting on the skin kind of look, almost as though it's been stitched on. So just a gentle drop shadow just to create that effect, and that's all it needs for that part. Right, now we're getting into the colour. Let's get in there. I'm starting probably with the darker colours, if anything. Get those in first. Sometimes I do a bit of a mixture from light to dark colour. Most of the time I'll go with the golden rule of darker colours first. It just depends on what I'm doing. So I'm working into, if anything, the body of this character is actually more on the black side of it, if anything. But of course, if you just do black stitching, you're not going to see any definition, and then putting white over the top of the black, you're not really going to see any kind of individual threads once it's healed. You might see them fresh, but they won't heal quite like that. So ultimately, you've got to go in, if anything, with a darker grey then do some black stitching over the top, and then your white stitching as well. Well, that's the way I do it anyway, and I find the results are a hell of a lot better than just doing a black body and it looking not quite how it should. So that's what I'm working on to start with until I go on to some brighter colours. So now I've tightened up all of the grey part of the body. We're going in there with a lighter colour, but it's the next darkest colour of the whole character, if anything. So it is onto the reds, and then I'll be building up to a kind of beige kind of colour that's going to be in there as well, and then going on to some light greys. So we're just starting with the red on this part. So sticking to my golden rule of the darker colours first, I'm going in with some black stitching straight into that body instead of going for the lighter block colours. So this just enables me to keep those lighter colours nice and fresh looking instead of possibly being tainted by a darker colour. So after the black stitching, I then got the darker red stitching onto the, if anything, it's cloak or cape, whichever you want to call it. And now I'm going back in with a lighter block colour. As you can see, it's yellow, and if I'd have, gone wiping back over that with a dark red or even the black, it could have really tainted those colours and not keep them nice and bright. So it's quite crucial we do it that way around. So I've finished his little feet and going in there with some orange threads over the top for the darker part of the threads. So getting those done before I start moving on to the other parts, which is, it's almost like, it was a strange colour to have to deal with and trying to think of what colours to put in to the stomach area of this this character. But it's more of a kind of greeny yellowy colour, so you have to try and think of the end result that you want to achieve and choose 3 different colours to go in with to achieve that end result. So it can be a bit of a mind number doing a patch. You really have to think quite carefully about it. So I've slowed this down for you just to see me actually tattooing real time. This is my normal speed of tattooing. So it gives you an actual real viewpoint on how the threads actually work and how the whole tattooing process works, instead of it being a time lapse and going absolutely crackers all the time. It's only a small bit, but it gives you an idea. So coming towards the end of the tattoo, I unfortunately didn't have any video of doing the white threads over the top, which settle down into the lighter threads. But this is the finished look of the tattoo at the end, and it just looks great. I was really pleased with this one.